Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live. As always, I am your host, Josh Lilquist. In the last segment, we covered some wealth strategies. The average retirement balance, depending on what source you're looking at, is right around $94,000. And we're seeing a lot of folks that are coming to these investing classes that want to be able to continue to build that. Some are well over that, and a few are under that. So they need to speed that up. And there's assets that are designed for that. Based on what account sizes you have, you can get into. And there are different vehicles is what they are. So it's just imperative to be in the right vehicle to get to whatever goal or objective that you do have financially. So we have investing classes strictly on these retirement accounts, and we had a lot of people texting in. Congratulations to those that did that. If you missed seats for that investing class, you can simply just text the word investing to the number 210 right now for 2 seats. When you do that, you're going to get a text right back, and it'll be a link to the landing page. All you got to do is click the link and pick your own date and time for that investing class, whether it's here at the Academy in Bloomington or at a neighborhood near you. We're going all across the metro. We have several locations where we do these investing classes. So simply just text the word investing to the number 210. Also, please follow the podcast, Investing and Trading Live, wherever you listen to podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. I say this every week. We're looking to make this the #1 global financial podcast to help listeners make smarter investing decisions and just be in the know with the opportunities that are available. And all you got to do is search on how to engage with them. And that's why we have these investing classes. So you can also go to investingandtradinglive.com for seats for that investing class. I've also some little more information on the show here as well. So in this last segment here, Al, there's a kind of a misconception about the markets, in my opinion, on how most people don't really know how they work, and that's kind of the first part of these investing classes and in these power trading workshops that we do here, is we pull back the curtain on how the market works and a lot of the conditioning that happens out there. But there's also misconceptions on what you actually need to accomplish certain things in the markets, whether it's time, your schedule, the capital that you plan on allocating. So you actually dictate all of that. It's actually the opposite of your normal job. Because here's what most people's normal job is. You're required to come in at certain times to a certain place every single day. So you have no freedom of time or location. But also, think about this for a second. Your employer is telling you your net worth. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a problem, in my opinion, because there's no freedom there. And a lot of people are looking for that freedom of time, location, and money. So let's unpack that out. What are some of the things that they can do as far as what do you need to accomplish whatever objective that someone is looking at in the markets, whether it's time, schedule, or capital?
Yeah, I'm going to add one more thing, one more negative to what you just said about having a job, because every time you go to work and you make money, you're making money for a whole bunch of other people that are above you too. Mm-hmm. If you're a trader, if you're trading, every dollar you make, every profit you have is yours. You keep 100% of it. But a couple things that I want to comment on. Everybody's a little bit different. And unfortunately, most financial advisors will have a plan that is based on certain things that they apply to everybody, and that's not the way to do it. There is not a one-size-fits-all. Everybody is an individual, and unfortunately, a lot of the things that people are using now are obsolete. You mentioned before the advice that most people got from their parents, and I remember my dad saying this, exactly what you said. You go to school, you get good grades, get a good job, put 10% of your money in the bank every time you get a paycheck and you'll be just fine. Mm-hmm. That's obsolete. That does not work. It did not work. It's not going to work. And a lot of the strategies that people are using now are obsolete, to be honest with you. So one of the things that we'll cover in these classes is a different way of doing this, a different way of looking at your retirement assets and finding out what the number is that's right for you, because everybody is different. Not everybody needs $2 million or $3 million or $1 million. So let's figure out what you need to live what you want your retirement to look like, and then how do you get there? What's the best way to get there? And it may mean using one of the assets that we're talking about. It certainly is going to mean protecting your assets and being able to take advantage of every direction the market can go. And how many directions is that? It's three.
Three, up, down, and sideways.
Yeah, and if you're not benefiting all three directions, you are only potentially benefiting in one direction. That's 1 out of 3. That's not good odds. In the Wall Street firms that have convinced you that you need them, they're making money all three directions. They're making money off of you when the market's going down and when the market's going sideways, but you're not benefiting there in most cases.
And here's an example. If the market is going 3 directions, up, down, and sideways, you're basically going in circles if you're going in just one direction. Just like a vehicle. Vehicles go forward, vehicles go backwards, and people are listening probably like, how do vehicles go sideways? Well, the Hummer goes sideways. It's called the crab walk on the Hummer. I don't know if you've seen that before. But the Hummer does go sideways. So you need that strategy because same thing with your car. You need to go in reverse at some point. Well, that's the same thing in the markets. You need a strategy for up markets. You need a strategy for down markets. Options is a great strategy for sideways markets.
Perfect.
So now you have more odds, but the big word is probabilities to get to where you need to be financially. So when you're doing that, Al, and let's talk about time for a second, because people think you got to be glued to your computer screen, and that's kind of a misconception. The movies kind of show that, but remember, these movies are from the 70s and 80s, right? Maybe even the 90s. What is a realistic expectation without giving an exact of time that you need to put into this, just based off of market hours?
Yeah, actually, it's not only a misconception that you have to sit in front of your computer all day long. It is exactly the wrong thing to do. What you want to do, and this may be the most important thing to being successful, is managing your emotions. And if you're watching what you do, if you make an investment in something, that your emotions change. And you're going to do things that you shouldn't do if you're watching what happens. So what we want to do is show you how to do this in a way where you can preset a trade. First of all, you have to identify if there is a trade to make on a certain asset at the time you're looking at it. And where is that? Where is that position? Because the price you pay to enter something is the most important thing. That's going to dictate the quality of your protection and also determine the amount of profit that you can make. So if you're using a strategy that's following the people that actually have enough money to move price, and you can make that right choice, you have a trade or investment set with your entry price, your protection if you're wrong, with by the way, a small loss. You never want to have a big loss, and you have to have a strategy that provides that result. And then also your profit is protected. Now you just turn your computer off. Go out and play golf or go walk around the lake or do whatever you want to do, whatever you enjoy doing, knowing that you're protected, knowing that your trade will be automatically taken care of by your trading platform. If you're right on the price, you're in the trade. If you're wrong, you're out of it with a small loss. If you're right, you're not only in it, but your profit is protected, and the software does the work for you. You can't look at those things and not let your emotions get in the way of you being successful.
Yep, and if you're unsure about what some of the things that we're talking about are, that's the whole point of these investing classes and power trading workshops that we're hosting here right at the Academy, several per week. We're getting a lot of people that are coming into these. Feels like people are right here in the metro and actually all across the country at other locations. I don't know if everybody's listening to the show or what, but everybody's showing up to these classes because it's important, I feel, to people. So you do need that strategy. You can pick your own time. You pick your own dates. You pick your own capital. You dictate all that in the market. And then, as Al was alluding to, how you become confident but also consistent is being protected on both ends, and you let it work for you. Remove those emotions in the financial markets, and that's the number one key, is to do that and trade and invest without any bias or emotions. So Al, it's getting close to the end of the show, and we've had a lot of people calling in and texting in for these investing classes that we're doing right here at the Academy, and I want to give away one last set of tickets for that. And you can come into these investing classes simply by just texting the word investing to the number 210. You're going to get a text right back when you do that, and that'll be a link with our landing page. It's pretty simple. Text investing to the number 210 210, and that'll be 2 seats, one for you and one for a friend. You can also go online, just go to our website, go to investingandtradinglive.com, and you can pick your own date there. We got the calendar up right there, and there's actually a picture of an investing class, so you can actually see what it looks like at the academy here. So text investing to the number 210, or go to investingandtradinglive.com and pick your own date there. We've had a good discussion today about income strategies, retirement strategies, the do's, the don'ts, but also the reality of the market and people. Let's hear today's OTA tip of the week.
Well, the primary thing that keeps people from getting what they want, in other words, their goals and their dreams, is the story they keep telling themselves. Basically, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm just not as lucky as other people. Well, you need to believe in yourself to be able to have a chance to achieve success. If you have a dream, if you have a goal, and you don't take any action to achieve it, why would you think it's going to become a reality? It simply won't. You have to start with a single action. That's the first step. We always talk about that. You can't always, and almost never can, wait for the perfect moment, the perfect time. You have to create it.
I like that. And it's that old quote, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. But why not get started and dip your toe in the water and at least make an attempt? Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. The first thing is coming into these investing classes. Text investing to the number 210. Follow the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. That's on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. You can also watch the YouTube live. This is live on the YouTube stream. Just go to Josh Lilquist on YouTube. As always, same time, same place next week. Until then, retire young, my friends.